Get ready for the biggest wave of the game. It's no mania, and the world will never be the same. Wrestling news, drama, it's all here. Tune in now, cause Noah's bringing the crew. From the ring to the screen, he's got the scoop. Breaking down WWE, Raw, the crew. SmackDown, AEW, the top spots to be. Noah Mania is the name, and the future you'll see. Hollywood buzz and the drama that's real. Noah's on fire and you'll feel the appeal. From the ring to the screen, he's got the scoop. Breaking down WWE, Raw, the crew. SmackDown, AEW, the top spots to be. Noah Mania is the name, and the future you'll see. Hollywood buzz and the drama that's real. Noah's on fire and you'll feel the appeal. Podcast, YouTube, where the stories unfold. He's got the content and it's pure gold. From the square circle to the red carpet bright, Noah Mania's rising and he's taking flight. A sexy encyclopedia, he's the king of internet media. Noah Mania's on the rise, watch him take control. The biggest name on YouTube and he's on a roll. Wrestling drama, all the world's trends. Tune in now, cause the fun never ends. Noah Mania's got the vision, the heat of fire, climbing higher and higher. He's your empire, the biggest YouTuber watching at night. It's Noah Mania, turning up the light. He's dropping the truth, no holding back. Every wrestling move and every hot track.
Yeah.
To the latest fight, Noah Mania's here to keep it all tight. From SmackDown to Hollywood and the YouTube scene,
parched.
he's breaking it down like you've never seen. All the drama, the tea, and the viral news. You'll never miss a thing. He's got
Delicious
all the
Mountain
views.
Dew.
From the square circle to the red carpet bright.
I'm on a Mountain Dew kick. I don't get it. I've cut down on my intake of Monster energy drinks. So to make myself feel better about myself and my horrible life decisions, I switched to Mountain Dew. Because if you read the ingredients, goddammit, there's orange juice in it.
From the mat to the screen, from the ring to the dream, Noah Mania's got the world on the edge of their seats.
Need a little sip here.
He's bringing it all, and the biggest YouTuber, yeah, that's Noah standing tall. Noah Mania's on the rise, watch him take control. The biggest name on YouTube and he's on the roll. Wrestling drama, all the world's trends. Tune in now, cause the fun never ends. Noah Mania's on the vision, the heat, the fire, climbing higher and higher. He's your empire, the biggest YouTuber, watch him ignite. It's Noah Mania, turning up the lights. Get ready.
All right, that's enough of that. Welcome to the show, everyone. It's the Noah Mania experience. Here on youtube.com/Noah Mania. If you haven't done so, it would be so nice and kind and sweet of you to gently click on that subscribe button, that notification bell, that like button, ever so gingerly, with your soft, supple fingers, please. Welcome to the show. It is Tuesday, July the 8th. NXT wrapped up on the CW. About 10 minutes ago. Unfortunately, I'm on the West Coast, and that incompetent, dumb CW app, they don't have an East Coast feed so anyone can watch NXT live. So if you're not on the East Coast or Central Time, you're fucked. You're not going to get to watch the show live. You have to wait and do it on tape delay. And I couldn't find one of those naughty streams that, you know, has the billion pop-up ads, but you can watch it. And then every 10 seconds, the video feed stutters. Like it's buffering. What is going on, anyone? Anyone out there? Oh, man, I'm broadcasting for nobody. I'm such a loser. I'm a loser. I used to have an audience. It was kind of cool. Them's was the days. I am the most underrated YouTuber streamer in this community. I'm going to throw that out there right now because I was the original, the OG. I did it all. But I wasn't consistent with it. That's what my problem was. I wasn't consistent. So shame on me. All right. Well, I got a good show for you today regardless of that. We're going to talk about Raw from Monday night and a ton of news and stuff going on in the world of wrestling and in my life. So what have I been up to for the last week? I want to give my good buddy, everyone's homeboy, the Extreme Icon Mike Nagel, a big shout out. That motherfucker, I'm going to tell you guys just a quick story. Mike Nagel, really awesome person. I've known him for over 20 years now. And I moved him back out to California. He hadn't lived in California in over 10 years now. He's been bouncing between states. He's like a gypsy. Mike's a gypsy. He just travels. He's a traveler. He's lived everywhere. It's kind of weird. But he needed to get back into California, and I had a way to enable that to happen. So I brought him back out here. And that motherfucker, he didn't just get one job out here. He got 2 jobs. One of them in management. So fucking A, man. We're all proud of you. We're all so proud of you. And I'm happy that you're here. So just wanted to throw that out there. As for me, what did I do? 4th of July was this past weekend. I don't know. I wasn't really in the patriotic spirit, if you know what I mean. Everything going on in the world. There's nothing really to cheer. I fucking hate the president. I hate the president. And I hate much of his supporter base. It's just insane to me. But I've said it before, and I think it bears repeating. Everyone is going to reap what they sow. There's already a small but mighty movement, growing movement of MAGA to the bone Trump supporters who are coming out of the woodwork because they're getting fucked by this big, beautiful bill. Either through them losing their SNAP benefits or their Medicaid coverage. Yeah. It's a different story when it hits close to home, doesn't it? Y'all got nobody to blame but yourselves. And it's not like anyone tricked you or did anything in secret. None of this was done in secret. It was all spelled out, plain as day, easy to read in Project 2025. It was all there. That's all a bunch of left-wing bullshit. Blah. Blame Biden. It's all Biden's fault. Biden. It's all Biden's fault. Even problems that are happening right now, Biden's fault. I will say it is Biden's fault that we have the president that we have in office. For that, I do resent Joe Biden. And I'm extremely liberal. Joe Biden fucked the Democrats over. Big time. He had no business running a presidential campaign. But waiting until 3 months, 4 months before a general election, that's not how you do it. That ain't it. I don't care how strong of a candidate you are. I'm not saying Kamala Harris is all that in a bag of chips. But asking someone to spin up a presidential campaign successfully and run against a former president, you get 3-4 months tops to successfully start from scratch your presidential campaign. Who the hell can do that? It's unprecedented. It's unfathomable. Trump had the advantage. He started his second campaign for president the day after he lost the election the last time. So the motherfuckers had 4 years to take back the White House. Kamala Harris had what, 4 months? Tops? She's no angel. But putting anyone in that position is crazy. It's just not sustainable. What's up, Mohammed? Mohammed wrote in the live chat. Let's bring the live chat into the show, shall we? Shall we? Trying to, anyway. Having some issues here. There we go. Boom. Sorry, I've been enriching my health before coming on the air. Mohammed said in the live chat, hi and happy Tuesday, as well as Taco Tuesday. I'm talking about Taco Trump right now. I hope you are doing well, and my thoughts and prayers are with the victims in Texas flood tragedy. Oh, that's rough. Very sorry for those that are impacted in the state of Texas. What a disaster. You know, it would be nice if the California National Guard could be over there to help with the relief in Texas, but, you know, they're too busy under Taco Trump's orders fighting a bunch of protesters in Los Angeles. Not even that many protesters. That's what they're busy doing right now. I'm sorry. It just aggravates me to no end. And this is like my safe space to actually unload how I feel about this shit. Speaking of unloading, I saw this hilarious NBC News video clip, I think from Nightly News Tonight. Trump just going off on Putin now. He's been the most staunch defender of Vladimir Putin. Him and Vance talked all that shit to Zelensky, humiliating him in front of the world. And now Trump even can't defend it any longer. Because Vladimir Putin's a fucking asshole. Trump was trying to appease to Putin and the oligarchs, kissing their ass. But now it's indefensible. It gets to a certain stage where you can't make excuses for the continued invasion and attack. How anyone could defend a country trying by force to annex an independent sovereign nation. That's an invasion. How would you like it if another country just invaded your state and tried to annex it and make it part of whatever bullshit country that they were from. I don't think you take too kindly to that. Trump's a crooked asshole. I'm very confident that there's a reason Trump is trying to brush off the existence of the Epstein list. Still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? The guy's been talked about for years. Don't look at me. I have nothing to do with it. It's just insane. Sorry. I get into these little tirades. I can't help myself. I really can't. I apologize for that. Let's talk about Raw. You guys want to talk about some wrestling? Let's talk about some wrestling. I watched Raw last night, and I got a bit of an issue with it, as hinted on by the thumbnail for this video. Let's run through the results and I'll talk about that. How stupid fucking WWE is. Being idiots right now. All right, so match results. Kairi Sane defeats Roxanne Perez. Braun Breaker over Sami Zayn. I don't understand why Mike hates Sami Zayn so much. What did he do? What did he do to insult him so badly? I'd like to know. Yeah, Braun Breaker over Sami Zayn. I don't know. It's weird to me. Like, what are they going to do with that guy? He's there. What's the point? I think there should be a point behind everyone on the roster, especially on the main roster. Your character should be arriving at some kind of point, and I don't get that with Sami Zayn. He's just drifting aimlessly off into the abyss, and I don't mean Joseph Parks either. Is it Joseph Park or Joseph Parks? I don't fucking know. I don't really care either. Jey Uso over Bronson Reed by disqualification. I did start to doze off during fucking Jey Uso's 10-minute long entrance, though. Kills me. El Grande Americano over Dragon Lee. And your main event, Seth Rollins over Mr. Pentagon Jr. Penta. The main event. I've been a avid fan of the New Day for well over 10 years. They're one of my most favorite tag team creations of the modern era of professional wrestling. Let's refer to it as anything post 2005. I would consider to be kind of the modern era of wrestling. And the New Day is right in there in terms of tag teams. You had the chemistry there. You had the gimmicks, the evolving gimmicks. Started off as heels. Became some of the biggest baby faces in history. Making John Cena level merchandise money. John Cena level merchandise money. That's freaking insane. The light up unicorn horns, the t-shirts. Just a family friendly gimmick that was marketable, that you could sell shit. Were they necessarily selling tickets, putting asses in seats? I don't think so, but that wasn't really the point. But they still accomplished it amazingly well. I do love that Kofi did get his world title run. That was cool to see. Was the New Day getting stale? Absolutely. I was all for the heel turn. I loved where it was going. They were fucking assholes on TV, or trying to be. Fans still cheered for him anyway because you love the new old New Day, I guess you could say. It was cool. Put the world tag titles on them. Fucking A. Absolutely. You had to. Absolutely had to put the world tag team titles on them. Then you have them drop those titles to the fucking Judgment Day. The Judgment Day. Not the original badass Judgment Day. No, I'm talking about the Judgment Day of now, which is pathetic. It's pathetic. Dominic Mysterio is effectively the leader of that group now. It's pathetic. And then if that's not bad enough, let's add insult to injury. Let's have Xavier and Kofi dress up in women's wedding veils, holding bouquets of flowers, and go on TV and sarcastically mourn the loss of their titles like they're fucking marks. Who the hell wrote this? By them dressing up in veils and funeral veils. Did I say wedding veils earlier? I might have. Funeral veils. You're basically having them acknowledge that they themselves are idiots as they're laughing at themselves effectively. They are making mockery of themselves. They've effectively killed these new heel New Day gimmicks. No longer can anyone look at them with a straight face and fucking boo them. There's nothing that the New Day can do in the ring or say on the mic that's really going to get good, organic, natural heat out of anyone. You made them look like bumbling buffoons. Killed it. It's done. Done. It ain't happening no more. They told that gimmick, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. That's what they did. That's what they did. It's dead. It's gone. Forever. I gotta watch these clips. I guess Steve Blackman gave his first interview since, I guess, an RF video. Remember that disreputable Rob Feinstein RF video? Seem to recall a little bit of trouble that he allegedly got into. But Steve Blackman was on the Chris Van Vliet podcast. Good Lord, that Chris Van Vliet. How the fuck did that guy fall ass backwards in such a good gig? He is like the freaking Johnny Carson of wrestling interviewers now. It's freaking wild. And they're good. They're so good I want to freaking hate the guy. I want to wring his goddamn neck, but I can't because he's so good. But anyway, there were a few interesting notes out of this interview. Some of the things that they talked about was the night of Owen Hart's tragic passing over the Edge 1999. So Blackman, of course, was backstage, and this is what he had to say, quote, "It's unfortunate, but the only reason the heat was taken off of us is because that's the night Owen fell from the ceiling. Blackman was watching from behind the curtain, only joined by The Rock when it all happened. Quote, that day was brutal because I was off that night because of the incident at the airport and the way the arena was. There was one section in the hallway in the back where you could stand closer to the ring and watch. I was standing at the curtain. Rock was near the end, whatever, and he came walking around like, what's up? I said, watching from here. He stood there with me because we had a better view and we were the only two standing there. Boom. And Owen hits, and we're like, what happened there? And I said, I hate to say it, but he's gone. Rock's like, what do you mean? I said, I can see it. I can see the bluish tint in his lips, the paleness in his face. And he talked about they were standing right by where the ambulance wheeled the stretcher by. It's real freaking sad. That's got to be like, to be one of the guys during the Attitude Era on that roster, that would be backstage during that. Freaking Mick Foley. How emotional he is. I can't imagine. That's just. And Vince McMahon to let the show go on. Black-hearted, garbage human being. It's crazy. Another funny thing he said of, so this from Ringside, credit to Ringside News, by the way. Steve Blackman reveals how Brian Christopher's arrest ended his WWE run. Quote, at the end of the last 13 months I had left, Brian Christopher and I were tag teaming. It was getting over well. Trish would be a valet with us. The whole gimmick was getting over. We had good matches. We had good chemistry. We planned on having the tag team run for the next 13 months, with belts and stuff. We go to Canada to do an appearance. They were sending us on more appearances because we were getting over well. He gets caught at the border with stuff in his bag, gets fired immediately, and our gimmick's over. And I'm like, JR, what now? He goes, we planned on you being with him for the rest of this. I said, I figured that. Well, are you opposed to me going and getting my neck operated on? Blah, blah, blah. So Steve Blackman goes and has neck surgery and is told by JR, if you get doctor clearance after that, you can come back anytime you want. And recovery didn't go smoothly, and he had to deal with a lot of shit with his neck and extra recovery and crap. But God, I've always really admired the hell out of Steve Blackman. The fact he didn't get like a serious world title run with how much credibility he would have brought. Fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Like, the dude legitimately was the Lethal Weapon. It wasn't just some fake name. He was the Lethal Weapon. The guy could legitimately just, with the edge of his hands, fucking kill you 3 times before you hit the ground. Dude was badass and just horribly underutilized. Real shame, especially when you look at the talent of the wrestling business today. How many people with world title belts could not fucking hold a candle to Steve Blackman? How many of those world champions could you stick in a ring and a shoot and think they would beat Steve Blackman? Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle. Not many. There ain't that many. During Raw, this is funny. Apparently they were piping in Goldberg chants into the arena. WWE is just shameless. If they can't manipulate the crowd to do what they want, they'll just fucking overdub audio. And if all else fails, they'll just cut audio altogether. That was hilarious. Nikki Bella was on Busted Open Radio. Bully asked her if she's run into John Cena backstage and if that's awkward or not. Apparently she said, and I'm paraphrasing now, that everything backstage is like family. It's like Olive Garden. When do you hear your family? And she of course gave the same generic, oh, has a lot of respect for him, his wife, the relationship. John's wife, super sweet and amazing. And apparently his wife's always at the shows. That's a little surprising to me. You just look at John's wife and she just screams like, don't even look me in the eye. This doesn't seem very nice. But I guess I'm just a judgmental prick. This is kind of sad news. So early this morning, apparently Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, their home was broken into. This morning around 3 a.m. So Raw, of course, was in Rhode Island, which is 3,000 miles away from Playa del Rey. So nobody was home. Of course. Apparently, they forced their way in through the rear sliding glass door and stole cash. Seth Rollins was the one to call 911 to report it. So did they have like some kind of security system and he saw the woman on video? That's got to be freaking frustrating to not be home, but look at your security cameras as someone's broken into your house. And how many rich people and celebrities just leave loose cash around the house? Or you could just break in and steal it. Doesn't seem very bright. But what do I know? What do I know? What else is going on? So apparently Anthem is trying to get a new media rights deal for TNA. So Carlos Silva, who is this guy? He's the Anthem Sports Group president. Sports Group? Wonder what that sports group consists of. Oh, TNA. They're seeking a new media rights deal that would let them produce live TV every single week. The quote was, "We are being featured on every major WWE and NXT platform, PLEs, as well as weekly programming on the CW." So TNA isn't like, they're not going into this media rights deal on the merits of episodes of TNA Impact or their existing roster or the hard work they're doing on Access TV or the amazing ratings they get. Oh no. The whole headline is, we're on WWE all the time. That's where you'll find us. What a fucking idiotic thing to say. You know, this is all leading up to them selling out to WWE. WWE is buying TNA. That is going to be the new developmental brand of WWE, since NXT is now essentially, it's being pushed at the same level as Raw or SmackDown. This has resulted, a huge audience lift for us, along with all the social media support we get. New media rights deal will help us build a more consistent fan base with larger reach. It will also provide us the opportunity to go live 52 weeks a year, and in today's world, live matters. Usually when we're live, we're doing around 100,000 household viewers, a weekly number between 250 to 500,000. Something in the 10 million a year range is where we think we should be. I'll tell you what pisses me off. I should be getting Access TV, and I would be watching TNA every single week on Access TV. But for some reason, I can't get the channel to pull up. I have a new cable box. I've tried to do it through the Xfinity Stream app, tried to do it through the web, and I can't. And every time I try to do a chat support with Xfinity and open a ticket, they are just obscenely difficult these days. It is the fucking worst. When the service works and when they're not overcharging me, it's great. I like it a lot. I'm fucking streaming live in 4K resolution right now. I have good internet service. But when I have trouble, it is the shits, the absolute worst. Freaking hate it. So therefore, I can't watch Access TV. Yeah, the news story should actually be, hey, WWE, we're for sale for $10 million. Come and get us, Daddy. Charlotte Flair was interviewed, and she was talking about how she was hurt from being body shamed when she returned from being out due to COVID. Apparently, she lost 25 pounds and felt amazing, and fans disagreed. So the quote was, I have this memory, it's about 4 years ago. I just worked my first show in a while, the Raw after WrestleMania 37, after being out 6 weeks from COVID. It's extremely hard to live healthy on the road. So while I was off, I did something I wanted to do for a long time. I got in the best shape of my life. I lost like 25 pounds. I got leaner, more toned. I felt so great. I've always been pretty self-conscious about my appearance, but I was seriously so proud of the effort I put in and the results I'd achieved. And I remember feeling good about how I'd looked at that night's show. Then she found thousands of Twitter notifications from people body shaming her. What happened to Charlotte Flair? Her whole body is fake. Someone even compared her to her dad in the ring. That's got to be rough. But look, I mean, she's not really done herself any favors with the excessive plastic surgery. I mean, she kind of did it to herself. She's had a lot of work done. And these girls with the Ozempic shit, they all need to knock it off. It's not necessary. I really am concerned that it's approaching an era of let's instead of the performance enhancing drugs like the steroids, it's just this bullshit plastic surgery. Because at the end of it, when you're old, you're going to look like a freaking space alien. Like Michael Jackson. I tried to get Mike to come on the show. He's like, I'm leaving work. I'm going to bed. Baby. He's a freaking baby. Freaking JBL needs to shut the fuck up. I read that he's going around saying that The Undertaker could do one more match. No, he can't. That would be a monumentally stupid idea. Nobody wants to see another match with The Undertaker. And it's not because we don't respect The Undertaker. It's not because we don't love The Undertaker. It's because we love and respect The Undertaker that we don't want him to make a fool of himself. I don't think Undertaker will do it, though, because he was smart. He literally made it as such to where the dead man gimmick, it died with the One Dead Man show and the podcast. That was his way of putting a bullet in the head of that character. So the dead man gimmick, it ain't ever coming back. Could bring the American Badass Undertaker back, but I don't think he's going to even do that. There's always been this mystique. Even as the American Badass, there's always this secretive mystique. But by knowing as much as we know about Mark Calloway now, the guy that interviewed fucking Trump, I still respect Mark more than I respect Glenn Jacobs. Or Hulk Hogan. Actually, Hogan's worse than Glenn and Mark combined. Because even though Glenn Jacobs represents the freaking right-wingers that don't want women to be able to choose what's right for themselves and their bodies, he's part of that group. But at least they're not Hulk Hogan. Who goes and says, if you're my fan, the only way you're a Hulkamaniac is if you vote for Trump. At least Undertaker and Kane never said that. So I'm disappointed, but I'm not disgusted. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. That is fair to say. All right, finally. Is it finally? No, we got a couple more things. So the big news of the last few days. I've really liked everything I've heard about this. By the way, I wonder if it was filmed to where it'll be like aired on TV someday. It would be. I'm sure it was filmed, but the final Black Sabbath concert ever, essentially, Ozzy Osbourne's retirement show is essentially what it was, and what a freaking stacked show this was. To be a fan in Villa Park, I don't know. It was like the pinnacle of rock and roll was part of that. So freaking cool. $190 million raised for charity, going to benefit Cure Parkinson's, the Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorn Children's Hospice. So it was all going to a fabulous cause. Who were the bands that played? They had some fucking crazy opening acts. Metallica. Holy fucking shit. Guns N' Roses. Apparently it was the first time Ozzy ever met Axl Rose. Slayer. Alice in Chains. Special appearances by Billy Corgan. Owner of the NWA. And some of you may have heard of the Smashing Pumpkins. Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Travis Barker. The Kardashian from Blink-182. Steven Tyler appeared on stage and performed, which is crazy. They had to cancel the whole fucking Aerosmith farewell tour because he retired because he catastrophically injured his vocal cords from 50 years of singing like Janis Joplin. He sounded fine, though. He sounded fine. You know what I really think it was? I think he just fucking got annoyed with Joe Perry and just fucking I can't sing anymore. Him and for some reason Steven Tyler and Joe Perry are like two little girls. You know, that's why they did Dude Looks Like a Lady. Both of them look like two little girls. And they every so often those little princesses get into a freaking bitch tiff. And the whole band breaks up for 5 years, and then they finally patch things up and get back together. It's amazing how money mends wounds in rock and roll. I'm willing to bet I'm sure his voice was fine. He just got sick and tired of Joe Perry. Needed a break. Needed a break from his lover. I make fun, but Aerosmith is actually my all-time favorite rock band. It's fucking true. By the way, I am pissed off. Sharon Osbourne said she would reveal the name of the band, or that we would know who it was that pissed her off and got kicked off the show. there were some rumors swirling around that the band was Tool, but apparently that was all unsubstantiated. Apparently Sharon thought whoever this band was just being greedy. So she kicked him to the curb. Sharon Osbourne's something else. I love Sharon, but one thing that you gotta admit, other than the fact she looks like a space alien now, and it's really, even though she's wicked smart, but when you look at her with her freaking space alien porn star lips, she's looking like she's going on 80 years old, and she looks like this. It's really hard to take her seriously. And if you look at the history of Sharon Osbourne, she has gotten into a lot of little bitch fit tiffs with bands. If she, she's very easy. It's very easy to get on Sharon Osbourne's bad side. Very easy. So, with Sharon, I take it with a grain of salt. Ozzy did a few of his greatest hits. He didn't do a full set, of course. They had him sitting in that giant bat throne. And everyone in that audience showed Ozzy the love and respect that he's earned and that he deserves. It was really cool to see. He wasn't on his A game whatsoever. He was struggling. You could tell that it took if there was any gas left in the tank that Ozzy Osbourne could burn through and have one last hurrah, he's used it all up. There is no more gas left in the tank after that night, excuse me. And he's earned it. He's earned the retirement. He's losing it, though. He's really struggling. The video of him backstage, you could see, and this was after the show, you could really see him trembling. It was awfully sad. Was cool to see Kelly Osbourne. Kelly Osbourne proposed to by her longtime boyfriend, the DJ from Slipknot, Sid Wilson, proposed to Kelly backstage after the show. He was sitting next to Ozzy, Sharon, Jack was in the background. Kelly and Sid already have a kid together. They've been together for about 3 years now, and they're getting married. Ozzy cracked a little joke that was kind of funny. It's like, "You're not marrying my fucking daughter." And then Sharon demands more babies. Well, they better get that test tube ready. Kelly's already over 40. that road is coming to an end. Might need to get on that. But good for them. Makes me happy. Of course, you don't hear anything about all of Ozzy's other kids. You just hear about fucking Jack and Kelly. Don't forget the Sharon and Ozzy have Amy, and then he's got the kids from the other marriage to his first wife. You never hear anything about those people. They get the shit end of the stick. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it. I'm done. I just want to come and bullshit. I'm trying to do these shows every Tuesday and Thursday. Got some big things coming. Big things coming down the line. This podcast is really just the beginning. It's all talk until I actually do it, but there's big things coming. Trust me. The wheels are in motion. All right. I think I'm going to get the hell out of here. Follow me on Twitter, X, Real Noah Mania. Facebook.com/Real Noah Mania. Those are my only social medias. So if you want to see what I have to say, follow me on there. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Well, I will be back here on Thursday and going to give predictions. There's a bunch of shows coming up this weekend, so we're going to give some predictions and whatever news the day, AEW results. Maybe we'll talk about TNA. So that's coming up Thursday. We'll do that at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, or no, 10:05 p.m. Eastern, 7:05 p.m. Pacific time. So, till then, I'm your good buddy Noah Mania. I am out of here. See ya.